Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another episode. We are still working with Kotlin in Action, a great book of greatness. I love this book. It's amazing. We talked a little the last time about functions and variables, but today we're going to talk about the tools that you need to get Kotlin working on your machine today. Act now. And we'll also talk about the Kotlin plugin, the interactive shell, the read evaluate print loop, and the Kotlin online playground, and we're also going to revisit variables to see what we can learn from that, and also maybe a little string formatting to finish it off, and then maybe next episode a little about classes. We'll see. So, enough playing around, wasting time. We are professional programmers here. We want to get ahead, guys. We got our coffee here ready. This is very serious business. So forget your parties and friends and all that silly stuff. Let's master this language together. Let's be at the forefront. This is a golden time, guys. It's a golden time. Believe me. Let's go. We're gonna start with the Kotlin plugin. Okay, so let's start with the Kotlin plugin. To get Kotlin running inside Android Studio, you're gonna need the plugin. Now, this is not difficult, but there is one trick. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go Android Studio Preferences, alright? Or Command comma for short. You're gonna go and find the plugins. Okay? You got your plugins. You go and press on Install JetBrains plugin. And you search for Kotlin. Here's Kotlin. Instead of this, you're gonna see a screen similar to that, where you have the install button. Because you don't have Kotlin yet, you press on install, you're asked to restart Android Studio, and you do so because you are a professional, and then you close it. What this gives you, what you can test it with, is that if you right click on somewhere in the file structure, you're now able to create a Kotlin class or a Kotlin activity. This means that you're good to go. One more thing you have to go and do is the runtime. So this is the area where it's not sure what exactly the Kotlin plugin gives you, because I think it's context menus, meaning if you right click you can access something, you can access the convert to Kotlin action from here. Now your IDE is aware of Kotlin. But to actually get the runtime on your IDE, you have to go here and hit this page. I'll leave a link to this in the description, and you're gonna need to have these two lines over at your projects build.gradle, not your apps build.gradle. Alright, so this line here says this is a variable. You enter here the version to use. Right now it's at 1.1.2. you just research it, figure out what version you need to use, and you enter that here instead of version to use. And then you got this line here. Let's look at it actually in the projects build.gradle. This is my projects build.gradle, and this is my apps build.gradle. They're different, okay? You need to go here. So this is your line. Right here is where you use this variable that you defined over here. You can use these numbers if you watch the video today or tomorrow. Doesn't really matter. I'm sure it'll prompt you to update automatically. When you do that, Android Studio is going to ask you to synchronize, and when you synchronize, it's going to pop up a little message which says Kotlin not configured. And when you press on configure, it's nothing, it's just one choice. There's no other choices. You just press that, you sync again, and here's the caveat, here's the gotcha. Android Studio is going to come here to your apps build.gradle, and it's going to place this line Kotlin-Android above this line Android application. It's going to place it above that. So when you sync again, Gradle is going to complain, and it's going to say there's no such thing as Android. What you do is just move this line to the top of the list. That's all. It's stupid from IntelliJ. Actually, it's stupid from Android Studio. IntelliJ has nothing to do with it. But that's what happened with me, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen with you because I saw a Stack Overflow question about it. So it's pretty certain. In any case, that's what's gonna happen. So it's no big deal, but when you do have that, things are good to go. We are now ready to try the convert to Kotlin action. So if you go Command Shift A, you have many actions if you were not aware of this. Let's just start typing Java. There's so many things you can do here. Doesn't matter. We not want one thing. Convert to Kotlin. Okay? What this says is convert file to Kotlin. This is a Java file. Right here. There it is. This is Java. So if we go here, we expected that this thing will turn the whole file into Kotlin. Let's first run this thing and figure out what it's doing. Obviously, it's a Fibonacci sequence of 15. You get 15 of the numbers. That's all nice and clean. These are the numbers. It hasn't ran yet. We'll just watch it run from Java, just to confirm that it's actually working. And then we try this conversion thing that they're claiming. Okay, that's great. It ran. It took a fucking minute, but it ran. And these are the numbers. That's cool. So let's convert this to Kotlin. Let's see if they are truthful about what they're saying. Enter. It has 3 passes. Okay. Some code in the rest of your project may require corrections after performing. Do you want? Okay, we want. Yes. Go ahead. Wow. Now this is all Kotlin. 0 errors. Nothing. You recognize the syntax, Val? The for loop here is different, regardless of how they're writing it, regardless of what this means or why this is called object. This is Kotlin, and it converted in a very short time, and it's supposed to be working. And here's your menu to figure out. This is using the plugin. This allows you to run from right here. Run this Kotlin file. Okay, great. It ran again. Now I forgot to add some proof, but the build time should be proof. If you go back just a minute with the video, you'll see that the other one took 1 minute and 0 seconds. This took 9 more seconds. So this was the Kotlin code that was running. If you don't believe me, you can try it yourself. It's amazing. And if you notice here, the file does not have a C anymore. It has an O and the icon of Kotlin when it was converted. So this is the convert to Kotlin function. Let's take it a step further, guys. Look at this file. You remember snippet with the 907,000 lines of code? Let's run that over here. Let's go. Nope, wrong one. Command Shift A, convert to Kotlin. Now this is gonna take like 3 seconds more maybe. Oh, I said I wouldn't smoke. Well, what do you know? Sue me. Okay. Now regardless of what this comes out with, we're not gonna run this one. But I just want you to see the power behind this very simple function that turns all of your Java into Kotlin with very minimal errors. I don't think there's gonna be any errors right now. I think this will be seamless. The compiler will not mention anything about anything you've done, regardless of what this message says. Because this message came up in the first time and there were no errors. Let's see. Okay, let's take this down. It's done? That's unbelievable, man. I haven't tried this file yet. 0 errors? Wow. Oh, that's unbelievable. Okay, so we got some stuff here. 1, 2. You're looking at 4 errors in a file of over 700 lines. There's 4 errors. What is this error here? What is this one? Okay, length. So this is probably size. Yeah. Okay. No, maybe length. It's a span string, so yep, there we go. No bracket, no parentheses. That was it. Now here we got the unresolved reference. I have no idea how to solve this one. I mean, off the top of my head, I don't. Maybe if I look into it, maybe. But you can see here over 700 lines, man, converted to Kotlin in a press of a button. That is insane. So whenever you're having some trouble, maybe you're learning the language, you're just trying something out, you want to see how it looks like in Kotlin without asking somebody or having to do the conversion yourself, you can just jump on here and press this button. You got it, bro. This is a whole file. It has no idea what the dependencies of this file are. It has no idea what's happening here. It turned the Java back into Kotlin. I mean, people build libraries to do this usually. And those libraries are famous. Like, you ever check out the Java to C converter? Yeah, it's a very famous library. Also, you got one error here. Huh? It's expecting a nullable because it didn't find me checking for the temp book. So to Kotlin, this can be null, and it caught that. Alright, that's cool, that's cool. So let's move on. Let's go into the interactive shell. If you want to try Kotlin for yourself, like, I don't know if you know what a REPL is, you probably do, but the main idea is that it's just a small playground where you can write stuff, press enter, you got the result. No compiling, well, it does compile, but there's no waiting. I'm not sure what the benefits of a REPL are over in a compiled language over compiling with a file. I'm not sure, honestly. But if you go here, you gotta have brew. It's you install brew. It's homebrew where you get packages and the likes. And you just go brew, install Kotlin. That's it. When it's done, you'll have Kotlin. Look up homebrew for Mac. If you're on Windows, I have no idea how to help you. Yeah, already installed. That's great. So you run it with typing Kotlin C. Now you're at the REPL. Great. So you just type here println hello. It waits for your next input because it's not done yet. And you got your hello. So let's write a main function, for example, fun main args of type array string enter. Oh, we need this to let it know that we're not done yet. Print ln hello world. Done. Now we call main. Wrong! You need arguments. So we're gonna say array of something. It works. Great. That's amazing. So this is the REPL. You can try anything here. Anything. You don't need a main function here. I guess that's the issue. You don't need an entry point for the program. You just write anything. List of Oday, some other guy, the other guy. Now you got the list. List of, I mean, val answer is equal to 412. Answer is 12. That's very cool. So that's the REPL. You can try anything you like here. Just something you're wondering about how it would resolve quickly. Just how does Kotlin treat lists? How do I play around with lists? You can try this stuff here. So you need homebrew, and then when you get that, you install Kotlin with just brew install Kotlin. That's it. Very simple. Now, the Kotlin playground. So it's over here. If you go and hit this link, try.kotl.in, you arrive at this beautiful page. Over here are some Kotlin cones, they call them. You try your hand at Kotlin. They give you a problem, and then you have to solve it. Very easy. The first one is not a problem. Reading many names. Oh, these are, oh, nice, nice. We stumbled upon not Kotlin cones, but these are, they show you what code looks like. They solve the problem for you. So if you run this, it runs. This is the output. You see? And this is where the arguments go that this main function is using. So you remember here we gave it some parameters of nothing. This is where you enter the parameters. If you enter nothing, this is like the command line, you know? Nothing happens. Hey boys. Hello boys. So these are sample programs. So you got here a switch statement. We'll get to that later. When language is en, return hello. When it's fr, return salut. When it's it, return ciao. Otherwise, return sorry, I can't greet you in language yet. This is string formatting. Alright? So you can go really high up here, not null. These are really complicated stuff. Problems. Alright, here's the problems. Oh, your task is these are the ones I was talking about. But the Kotlin cones, where you track your progress over the problems that you've been trying to solve, like a hello world program, for example. Take a look at function syntax. They link you to the document that you need to read. And make start return the string OK. And here's your to do. This is where you enter your code right here. So we're gonna say, what do they want us to return? Okay. Check. It's working. Check again. All tests pass. It runs them. Each cone has a test written for it. It's expecting that you pass this test. Named arguments. I'm just showing you around here. You can just play with it yourself. Default arguments. You are asked to supply default arguments to make this test pass. Right now it fails. Lambdas. Over here, for example, you got a lambda. You're filtering for any element of this collection be what is the requirement? Pass a lambda. Check if the collection contains even number. So you got the number here. They refer to it by it. Disregard what I'm saying right now. It doesn't matter. We're not there yet. It is even. So the modulus of it divided by 2 should be equal to 0. That's what makes a number even. It passes. Yes, it passes. There you go. Done. You move on to the next exercise. And what do you know? Kotlin in action. The book we're working with is right here inside Kotlin's own online playground website. This is chapter 1. This is the stuff you're going to see in chapter 1. This is how they start, with a very basic example to show you around how the language works. Chapter 2, 2.2, all the exercises in 2.2, all the exercises in chapter 4, and so on. It is amazing. I really advise you to go through this stuff, go through the examples. We'll be going through some of this stuff. It won't be directly from here. It'll be more like from Kotlin in action, which is right here. So you got everything you need here at try.kotl.in. You got everything you need, bro. The exercises, the problems, the book's code, it's all in here. So that's the online playground. That was pretty conclusive. I really like this place. I spent a lot of time here. Doesn't mean you're going to be an expert at it, alright? Until you pick up a book, trust me. These are just introductory stuff, but they don't play into the bigger context of what we're trying to do here, what the language is. You know, you need the whole puzzle, not just these stuff. These are supportive exercises. I didn't know these examples existed. These are really cool. And you can play with them and change things and run. It's really cool. Moving on. Let's go back to variables. Okay. We're gonna go back to variables. Where's the other IDE? This is the other IDE. So there's val and there's var. There's two things. Val comes from value and var comes from variable. A val, if you say here 1 is equal to 2, it's a very illogical variable. Why would I do that? Okay, 1 is equal to 1, and then you say 1 is equal to 2. Now you want to change it, you cannot. A val always has one value that you initialize, and you cannot change it after you've initialized it. Alright? Now a variable is a mutable reference. A value, a val, is an immutable reference. It's not, you cannot mutate it, meaning change it. Var 1 is equal to 1. It's gonna complain because there's the same name. What am I even doing with my life? Var. So if you go like 2 is now 3. Okay. Well, this is embarrassing. Why wouldn't it do that? Especially in top level declaration. Oh, I see. So what if we go... Oh, this is an assignment outside them. This is our main function. And then we go 2 is equal to 3. Easy. Still though, if you go 1 is now equal to 2, no, cannot. And so you cannot write such statements outside main. It's not a top level declaration. Alright, so that's the difference between val and var. Now you can, of course, have a val which goes through your custom setter that you define yourself and you return something else. And that sort of makes it a var. But that's a discussion for another day. So that's the difference between val and var so far. By default, you should just try to declare all variables in Kotlin as val. Only use var as necessary. Because having values that don't change their state and immutable references, functions with no side effects, that's the more functional philosophy. That's what Kotlin is more about. It's not about things changing without you knowing, so you just go for mostly immutable stuff that you know can expect their behavior to remain the same regardless of what's going on. That's the more functional style. Alright, now for the final thing, some string formatting. Let's go ahead and do that. How are we gonna do this? Okay, I know what to do. So we're gonna pass stuff to main as arguments. We're gonna say if args dot, let's see what the suggestions say. Size is bigger than 0. Alright? No. Okay, bigger than 0. Print ln. The number of arguments is $, brackets. This is string formatting, args.size. Okay? Nothing to print. Sorry. So we format the code. Else print ln hello args, oops, brackets, args of 0. Hello args of 0. How are you today? How are you today? Okay. So what does this say? Is not empty. That's a nice suggestion. Very good. It's like Java's with Java we used to say is empty, right? And then do this. Just create a fucking function called is not empty. That's cool. I don't know if is not empty exists in Java. I don't think so. So let's run this and see what happens. Okay, so it ran, and there's an exception for array index out of bounds. Well, that's because arguments were empty. We're running main directly from here. We're not running it from a place where we can call main and give it arguments. This runs main directly with no arguments. So there is no such, they're not empty, but there is nothing at array of index 0. Alright? So let's change this up. Forget about it. We're gonna say val name is equal to the return value from if args.size is bigger than 0, the return value passed to name will be args of 0, whatever they pass in. Otherwise, it will be Oday and guys. Alright, let's replace this with is not empty as well. Very simple. And then we're going to say print hello dollar name, or just, if you want, name. Alright, now let's run this one. So no arguments are going to be passed, but there is still nothing at 0. So we're going to fall into the else, and we're going to return this string. And then we're going to put it in val name, and this line is going to print it. It's very good and dandy. Very good stuff. Okay, it ran, just as we expected. The string was returned, the line was printed. That's amazing. That's all the time we have for today. We went over some environment setting up, how to get Kotlin running on your computer, on your IDE, a little about variables, just a little, some string formatting, what main is, how to pass parameters to main from the command line. That's about it. Next time I hope I can do classes, and we'll just continue on when we can. Hope you enjoyed, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.